Okay, class, welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to take our generic JPEGs that we shot using our camera this week, and we are going to import them into Adobe Photoshop. So here you can see my desktop. This is known as the desktop, as you know. There's our hard drive right here, as you can see. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to the dock, and you're going to click one time on your Adobe Photoshop. I happen to have a little bit higher version than you do, but that's okay. If you have a lower version, no problem. It's the same concept. So you can see that we have Adobe Photoshop open because you can see Photoshop up here, and normally you will see the toolbox in the left-hand corner. We're going to go ahead and close out this layer palette. And we're going to close out everything else because we really don't need it at this time for this lesson. Okay, so we know that we are in Photoshop because it says Photoshop. That's the program. What we're going to do now is we are going to use some shortcuts. And of course we are in Macintosh. So I'm going to do a Command O. And when you do a Command O, you immediately open up the file manager. Okay, so from the file manager you can see our sidebar. You can see all of our folders, and you can see our nature images. But what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way to the sidebar here, click on desktop, so we are just looking at what is on our desktop. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to select one of these images that we have over here on our desktop. And you can see here's one image and the other image. It's a nice little preview that you see in Photoshop, and our third image. So I'm going to select this flower with the bee on it as my demonstration. So I'm going to open, and what Photoshop does is it takes the image and opens it up in Photoshop. Now you can see that we're looking at our image. And one of the things that we need to do, because later on we are going to manipulate our photo, is that we have to convert it into a PSD. A PSD is also known as a Photoshop document. So what I'm going to do is another command, Command-Shift-S, and I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to rename this image, and I'm going to call it flower with B. Class, try to be very specific about the images that you shoot, and when you import them into Photoshop, be specific about the image that you shot. Okay? Now, down at the very bottom of this file manager, you will notice the word JPEG. If you click on the word JPEG, JPEG is a format, as you can see. Click and go all the way up to Photoshop because we are going to save these images as a Photoshop document. Okay? And before we save it, we need to create a folder. Here's a folder here, and we are going to call it our 3 nature images. We will create, and we will save this image into our folder, which is now on the right hand side here. Okay? Alright, so flower with a B, PSD, stands for Photoshop document. And that's pretty much all we're going to do today in this lesson. So I will see you back in class. Thanks for watching.